It's 9 o'clock, and I'd like to call to order the public hearing to receive public comment on the district's draft 2024 American with Disability Act Transition Plan. Before we begin, please note this hearing is being recorded. Thank you to everyone joining us today in person and through our audio options. If you would like to provide public comment at today's hearing, please let Thomas in the back of the room know, and or Justine on the call-in line how you would like to speak. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Thank you, everyone. We do not need a quorum for today's public hearing, so I'm going to call the roll to just verify who's here. Director Conroy is absent. Dorsey is absent. Engardio is absent. Garbarino is absent. Giudice.
Here.
Grosboll is absent. Hernandez.
Here.
Maston is absent. Moulton Peters is absent. Parr.
Present.
Redoni is absent. Sefai is absent. Snyder is absent. Stephanie is absent. Thierio.
Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Fear.
Save me.
Second Vice President Rabbit.
Here.
First Vice President Hill.
Here.
And President Cochran.
Here.
Those are your members present.
As a reminder, the purpose of today's public hearing is to receive public comment on the district's draft 2024 ADA Transition Plan. Madam Secretary, please summarize the public outreach effort for this public hearing.
Okay, I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to launch into it. Apologies that you'll notice we don't have any microphones on the table. We're in the middle of an AV upgrade. So next month when you return in June, it should be very exciting. We have a new PA system and the sound in here will be greatly amplified. So going back to the hearing, in compliance with district policy, public outreach was undertaken as follows. A notice of public hearing was posted to the district's website on April 29th. Legal notices were published in the San Francisco Chronicle, Marin Independent Journal, and Santa Rosa Press Democrat on Thursday, May 2nd and Thursday, May 16th. Legal notices were posted on the Laval's website, referenced in social media posts and weekly reports from May 2nd through May 23rd. Print ads were placed in the San Francisco Chronicle on May 2nd and May 16th, Marin Independent Journal on May 2nd and May 16th, Santa Rosa Press Democrat also on May 2nd and May 16th. Email blasts were sent to customers on May 10th and May 13th, posted on the district's Facebook and X, formerly known as Twitter, on May 7th and May 13th. A virtual public shop was held last week via Zoom on May 16th from noon to 1 o'clock. Digital advertisements were run on Facebook and Instagram from May 7th through May 14th, and the presentation was made available in Spanish as per the district's language implementation plan.
Good. Attorney Manolis, does the public outreach described by the district secretary meet the district's legal obligation for calling a public hearing?
Yes, President Cochran, it does.
Okay. Madam Secretary, has there been any correspondence relative to this proposal?
As of close of business yesterday, we have no comments relative to the topic of this hearing. We did receive one comment, but that comment was in regards to the link that wasn't working upside, and that was identified and fixed immediately. We're opening the public comment period tomorrow, 4:30. So we conclude the public comments. Staff will include any further comments received relative to this public hearing in the staff report to B&O committee on June 27th and to the board of directors for subsequent action. This meeting on June 8th. As you know, we do still receive public comments even though we've closed public comment period tomorrow at 4:30. So if anything comes in, we will be sure to incorporate any comments received. I'm going to turn it over to Ron because Ron's going to do a little brief overview of this proposal, just to remind everyone what this public hearing is about.
Thank you, Loretta. Good morning, President Cochran, members of the board. The item for consideration at this public hearing today is the draft ADA transition plan. And this plan is a compendium of all of the district's fixed facilities that were analyzed by a consultant during 2020 as to what it would take to bring them up to current day ADA code. Some of the items may have been compliant a decade ago, and some of those requirements have shifted. And so this effort brings everything up to the present. The draft plan has been vetted with bridge, bus, and ferry division staff by my department. And And so everybody understands where this plan needs to go in the future, should you adopt it. It is in draft format right now. The guidelines for this plan are from the Department of Justice, not our usual path with the Federal Transit Administration, for example. So this plan does not cover any of our transit vehicles, bus transit vehicles, ferries, things like that. We have looked at the plan in two dimensions. First, our public-facing elements, and then our non-public-facing elements. And there is a general cost estimate for bringing all of those elements to compliance. They do not have to be done immediately. They can be done over time, as long as we are demonstrating a good faith effort to comply with the requirements. And this effort will be updated annually by staff, basically to check off what we've completed, or to perhaps defer some projects a little bit because of capital needs and the need for financial resources to complete them. So as Amrit said, we have done a lot of outreach to the public. We have actually even gone a little further and did specific outreach to agencies who represent advocates for people with disabilities. As of today, we have not received any public comment despite that rather thorough outreach. So again, we are recommended by the DOJ to a public hearing. We have done so in preparation for a final recommendation to go to the board next month.
Okay, thank you, Ron.
I just offered, it's not comment to not receive comments. If you go through the effort and prepare a detailed plan, it's generally something that people are good about. They don't feel the need to weigh in. It's when one doesn't do a plan that they receive comments. Just to state the obvious.
Okay, since this is a public hearing, is to receive public comment on the subject matter, I ask my colleagues to hold their comments or questions for staff until the matter returns to the B&O in June for consideration. Before we begin, Madam Secretary, how many members of the public would like to speak under the public comment?
We did have somebody just joined us, very timely. Thank you for coming.
From the lateness, we had accessibility issues getting there just outside.
Thank you. We can talk about that afterwards, so that we would love that feedback. That's exactly the feedback we're here to get. Thank you so much. We do have one comment. So it's just going to be the one card, and then I'm going to turn it over to Justine to see if there's anybody online that wants to speak today as well. We're going to have you state your name, restate your name. I'll call you up, but I'll have you restate your name and any organization you're affiliated with. And then you have 3 minutes for your comments. Okay. We're going to call on, let's see, is it Tasma?
Speaking.
Okay, come on up and join us at the table there. Let me have you. Yeah, or you can stand up. We usually have a microphone, but we're in the middle of the PA upgrade, so if you would want to join us at the table. Oh, nice. Sure.
Whoa, how lovely. Wow. Wow, I'm blessed. Thank you. My name is Tasma Anaya. I feel touched here to be able to speak with you. Where is this? Is this recorded, and where is this going?
This is recorded. It will be made available online after the meeting, but it is being recorded. So these pucks are recording.
So what brought me here, and what made me a few minutes late, though I came with time, again, the second issue. I'll first address the second issue because it's the most immediate with me late. Is anybody aware, or should I just share, how do people get here, coming into this building here to join this public forum? Stairs, right? Well, we parked across the way because we didn't know really how to get here. Golden Gate Transit told us, there's a board meeting, it's a lovely room, and it is, but stairs. So we didn't find any elevator access of any kind to literally get here. What we had to do is look by asking people how would there would be a meeting room. Okay, they told us you have to go through the underground way, and then you have to go, you don't know, luckily there were some people that asked, there's no signage. And then we found some people to ask, and we see that there was a way to come that you can imagine there would be stairs. And we see, okay, there's stairs, but in order even to get to that, we had to literally cross a path that's with the parking going, with the drivers going the opposite direction. So it means that if you're liable to fall, or if you are in a wheelchair, any such thing, in order to get to the ramp that would lead to here was completely disconnected. And for a disabled person that would need mobility assistance, such as myself, I don't know, someone that is assisting me today with that, or not everybody you see has to carry mobility equipment with them, because that's an awkward thing to do. Some people are in intermediate states of mobility, and so it doesn't mean that you have mobility equipment, therefore you're like a little stick figure, handicapped, or disabled and just stuck in a wheelchair. I myself, I will disclose this, I have multiple sclerosis. In order for me to keep going, I have to keep moving. So I try moving, but I'm running against these problems all the time. Mobility issues, stairs. So they told me, we can't build an elevator for you today. I said, well, let's hope that we look at this for the future. So that's the issue that we're looking at. Now quickly, what brought me here is my fast track report here, which luckily they corrected the address, so maybe I'll get them more often. It says here, you have 30 days to correct. Well, if I get them, if I can read them, is another issue. Then what I find on them is that there are sometimes credits for the disability charge for crossing Golden Gate, which is a difference of $2. And many times, and the frequent crosser, there are not. So what does this mean? They're just taking pictures of the license plate? Why? Okay, for me to access, the transponder or so, it's not realistic to access. They say, well, just play with it to recalibrate it. That's nonsense. The fact is, they know license plate. It says right there on their DP, disabled plate. So I tried calling them within the 30 days. Oh, talk to the supervisor, talk around. That's really long. There's nothing. So I said, I'm going to come to this meeting and talk about this. Why can I not get answers? Right? So I suspect that this is an internal problem, a bigger problem. It should be looked at. Why? That sometimes when it's in the same place, my transponder is not responding the way it should. It's not many times. Not often. I have 2 pages. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times that it's able to register out of complete pages of policy. So I'm going to offer this to you. Please, let's take a look at this so that ADA can be respected in each way, both money and accessibility. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dennis first, I would like to respond.
Yeah, Kathleen, thanks for coming today.
Appreciate it.
Really appreciate it.
Miss the Zoom.
Yeah. You can call in also, but it's not the same. I apologize that we need to clearly do a better job of marking where we have parking to come to these meetings, because we have a small lot immediately outside and then right across the street, a larger lot where we have some accessible parking spaces. So I apologize that was not clear and that we ended up in the east lot. And I can see the path from the east lot to this building is not at all conducive to.
I apologize for being late.
Yeah. So we'll have to reevaluate how we notify people where to come and where to park when they come here. With respect to the fast track issue, if you could take a moment right after this and chat with me or one of our staff, we will address that issue.
Oh, thank you.
For the board members, we offer we have a disabled toll discount program in place. And if there's problems with how Fast Track is administering that, that's something we want to know about and we want to address immediately. So
Thank you.
when the hearing's done, we'll come talk to you. You can stick around just for a few moments.
Thank you. I think there is an internal issue with that. What I didn't mention, that I should mention, is that I have been trying to pursue this issue with Fast Track about getting a disability discount for years. It's like, since I was diagnosed way back. And so what it is, never any success. So please, we can address that as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Holly?
I just want to thank our general manager. The only thing I was going to ask is that someone follow up with the fast track issues. I know that it's very difficult to get something done on the phone, and I'm sorry that you had that experience. And I think that we're going to get it taken care of. So thank you for being here.
And the other issue of doing things on the phone is, see, I have other disability concerns too. Speaking actually is one of them. I mean, I come because it's really that important. But speech impediment is part of the disability. And so very often it's necessary to speak on the phone because that's the mode that's allowed. So we can look at that too. Or hearing or some other issues.
Richard?
Yeah, just a question. I really don't know about this. Is it distracted? Is the identifying piece on the license plate itself?
Sorry, sir?
Is it permanently labeled on the license plate itself?
Disability.
So the disabled toll program's not tied to the plate. It's a type of program people
Correct.
have to apply for. So we can make sure that her account, we'll talk about
And
it.
so,
Yeah, but the issue is it's not getting recorded when she drives all the time correctly. And so,
well, we can discover the issue. I'd really like to know what is the issue. I suspect that it's an internal issue, because why is it that when this is placed in the same manner, nothing's covering, nothing's changed in terms of what they say, calibrating or such, nothing's changed, it's sitting right there. Why is it most times, I'm gonna say on 2 pages, why is it, I can see something like 8 times that it's really registered. Every other time I see my license plate and the DP, which is disabled plate. That's really bad.
Okay, thank you, Tata. We
So that
appreciate it.
includes all the day charges that are
All right.
even after seeing the doctor for the disabled plates, we also see another doctor to confirm that, the Colgate that I should.
Can get a copy?
We'll work. If you can hang out afterwards so that staff can work with you on that one. Okay?
just like they will give us, we'll be done
Yeah,
in
we'll
5
be,
minutes.
we'll finish. Yes, that's fine. Just hang out. We will help you and just after this public hearing ends, okay? Thank you. Because we gotta get the paperwork as well. Yeah. You understand. Okay. All right, I'm going to just verify. Justine, do you have anyone on the call-in line that would like to speak today's meeting?
If I may just poll quickly, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure,
That-
yes.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Is there anyone that's joined us that would like to speak this morning? Please use ** to unmute yourself and let me know. Again, use ** to unmute yourself and let me know. No, Madam Secretary, I'm not hearing anybody. Thank you.
Okay, so that sounds like we don't have any other speakers for this topic today.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. And could you outline the procedure that we will now follow to receive any public comments? Any additional public comments?
Okay, so we're going to close the public hearing at this point since there's no other public comments. The next steps in this is, as I mentioned, the public comment period, the official public comment period will close tomorrow at 4:30, Friday, May 24th. Then staff will evaluate all the comments received and then determine whether changes or modifications need to be made to the draft transition plan. A final recommendation that includes a summary of any public comments received will be presented to the Building and Operating Committee meeting at its June 27th meeting, and then forwarded to the full board the next day on June 28th. At this time, we anticipate both meetings to be held in person here, and there's also the remote participation for the public on their scheduled meeting dates.
Okay, thank you. And thank you everyone who participated in joining us. And this concludes our public hearing. The time is 9:25.